Hello, my fellow athletic trainers. You are towards the end of our class on ATR 792A, and you have one more assignment to complete to finish our class. This assignment is called a reflection paper, and the reason why I have students do this assignment is we know through adult learning theory that teaches that adults like yourself that you need to reflect on your own learning to make it more personable, and it kind of gets deeper into you. And that's one of the reasons why through the professional portfolio assignments I have you do reflections, and then the final assignment in our class you'll do a reflection. So what you'll do is you're going to write a paper that covers these areas that I have on the screen. Again, this is in Appendix E of the syllabus. So I have several sections of this assignment. I do recommend that you provide sections, titles, like in the professional portfolio. These sections do not need to start on a new page like the portfolio. It can just be continuous paper. But you should still follow APA and formatting. You can use the template, APA template that I have. You should have a title page following APA with a running head, all those fun things. I don't need a table of contents in this assignment, and this is not, you will not turn in your first three parts of your professional portfolio. You're just going to turn this assignment in by itself. So the first section of our paper here is all you're going to do is provide a real quick summary of the practice standards and codes of professional responsibilities that were covered this semester. You don't have to explain them too much. No more than one total paragraph, no more than this. This is just a reminder to yourself of what you've actually went over the last couple months. So that's the first section. The next section is I want you to think about of these codes and standards, which one or more than one is your area of strength. For example, for me, one of my areas of strength as an athletic trainer is injury assessment. It was something that I enjoyed doing. I like to solve the mystery of what's wrong with the patient. As a student, I just loved everything to do with doing an injury evaluation, and as a clinician, I continue doing that, and something that I was really good at. I guess I still am really good at. I enjoyed doing that. And so as you look at over these different standards and codes that we went over this semester, what area or areas, because you can have more than one area, is something that you really excel at. So describe what is that area of strength and why is that an area of strength for you. Again, it's going to be probably more than one of the standards or codes. So explain to me why that's an area of strength, and then, as always, I want you to discuss how you can continue to improve in this area of strength. Again, I don't want you to focus on the things that you're weak in. I want you to focus on the things that you're good in, and how can you continue to grow in that. How can I continue to grow in my injury assessment, as an example. So that's a page or so there. Your third area for this assignment is, as you think back in this class, I don't want you to think about the other classes that you've completed in the program so far this semester. But if you think back from August until now, what's the most significant thing that you learned during this class? It doesn't have to necessarily be in this class. It can be something that you learned at your clinic and your practice, that you never really expected to learn about your coworkers, about yourself. This is completely open. Again, I'd rather you not discuss what you learned in the other classes that you've completed so far in this grad program, but something from this class or something that you learned, something significant about yourself in your clinical skills, your practice, that you never expected to learn. For example, a student quite a few years ago, what they wrote about in this section is they realized how unethical their fellow athletic trainers were, and it actually caused them to make a career change because of the unethical behavior that they experienced during that fall semester. Another story I remember reading was about an athletic trainer who had a lot of conflict with co-workers at his place of employment, and how he can go about resolving that conflict. So whatever that may be, I'm just trying to get you to think about what's been going on in your life over the last couple months. Again, that's about a page. Your next section is your final courage and calling reflection. I'm going to pull up the courage and calling assignment in Appendix F of the syllabus, and I'm right here in a final in their reflection paper assignment, and you'll have your final courage and calling reflection. Here, what I want you to do is go back, reread your reflections that you've posted in these different areas here. So as you think about all 12, the introduction and the 12 chapters of courage and calling, what you've posted in the forums, how you responded back to your fellow students in the forums, what is your big main takeaways from this book? How's this and how can this impact your life? I want you to think about what Smith teaches about vocation and what impact has this had on your vocational calling. I hope that it has had a good impact, meaning that, yeah, you really do know that you've been called to be an athletic trainer. So anything that you want to put here, I'm happy to read. So that last reflection is 1 to 2 pages, and it's going to be included in this assignment, the reflection paper assignment. So we summarized the practice standards and code of professional responsibilities in a paragraph, talked about your strengths and why it's a strength and how you can improve. That's section 2. Section 3 is the most significant thing you've learned this semester and at your work or yourself. 4th section is the final courage and calling reflection, and the last part is just a quick and dirty total number of hours worked for weeks 11 through 15. Again, I just need a total hours worked. I don't need to know the number of hours per day. Again, you'll have section titles, just like you would do in any paper that you turn in. You're going to use Microsoft Word. You're going to turn it inside Moodle, and you provide all these other fun things here. So you can turn this assignment in early if you are so motivated, so you can get it done, so you can work on the other class. The assignment link is open, so you can turn it in at any time until it's due. If you have any questions, as always, please ask.